finally got on. I'm going to admit these people, and then I'm going to make her the host real quick, and then. I love your hat. It's so bougie.
You both need to go get your dirty clothes from in the laundry. I did. And go read.
Can I say hi? Yeah, nice. My computer is so slow tonight.
I don't see anybody.
Hey, girl.
Hi.
I'm at my friend's house still. I'm about to leave.
There you are. Hi.
One, hang on, I don't want to confuse you, but there's actually ×2 of these girls.
Oh.
There's the other twin.
Oh my gosh, y'all are so cute.
Yeah,
How old are
and-
y'all?
Beautiful.
Guess how old you were?
11.
11.
Just.
And they wear, one of them wears size 9.
Shoes?
Yeah, look at this though, Shonda. Stand up. Look, she's as tall as me. Don't laugh, all right? Jeez, I'm just kidding.
I need to get closer to you, Jacqueline, because I need to come kidnap that little one.
Oh my gosh. Say, some days I would totally let you kidnap her and have her for a while.
She's so cute.
Oh, thank you. She was a mess today. She actually went down for her nap at like 11:45. She lost it. She didn't have something she wanted and she lost it. And oh, she was painting. And then we took the paint away because it was getting everywhere and she was kind of done. And then she lost it. So Matt gave her a bath. She was bawling. And then it was bed. And she took a 3-hour nap.
A 3 hours.
I took a 3-hour nap, but I didn't lay down crying.
I love it. Hey, Shonda, do you care if I make you host and then run home, be home in 10 minutes, and then I can reclaim it?
That's fine.
Okay, so you can admit people why I make.
Okay, so you're automatically recording, right?
Yeah, it'll go to mine.
Okay.
It'll go to my Zoom account.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to make you host. And then you can start it. And then I'm going to run home now. It takes about 10, 12 minutes.
All right.
I just came to the front door. Hey, you have to see how beautiful my friend's house is real quick.
It's a mess.
Oh, first of all, I love the kitchen.
Look at that. Look at that fridge. You see that fridge?
Pretty. That is exactly what I need in my house. I'm so jealous.
And then look at this. Look at this fire. Look at the fireplace she's wanting to change. Hey, I'll go past the laundry. I won't show her laundry.
The laundry got stained pink.
Okay, look at that.
She sounds like me. Oh my gosh,
Is
that's
that
so
stunning? It's like a stone, just a complete stone wall.
Yes.
It's little.
It's
I love that. Why is she changing that?
Why, hey, Shonda wants to know why you're changing that, Brittany. I yell at her all the time. And then let me show you your little outside patio.
I want to show them how.
Here, show her the. Oh, your dogs. They'll be fine.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this whole outdoor area. I don't know if you can see it.
I love it.
Yeah, the little pool house back here. Isn't that awesome?
That is so nice.
Yep.
I love that walkway out to the pool too.
Yep.
Kind of separates it from everything.
Yes.
So pretty.
Well, I don't want to get there dirty.
Someday,
It's dirty.
someday I'm gonna build me a house.
Yep. Okay. Hey, Brittany, she said that the fireplace is gorgeous. So you
I
better look at
love
it.
it.
She should
Don't
sell
change
it.
her
Good.
thing.
I'll just come piece it out.
And it changes colors too.
Oh, I love that.
Pretty. Tell her it's pretty.
Carma says
I
her
just think it
Zoom
out.
is longer her in as you.
Yeah, I thought about it actually. All right. Well, I'm gonna run home and then I'll get back on and reclaim host. Cool. And upload.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay. You're host though now, right? Okay.
Yes, I just admitted somebody a second ago.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna shut my computer, but I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. It looks like people are having trouble getting on tonight, y'all. So here's somebody else. There we go. Now people are starting to get on. I think there may have been a problem with the link. I don't know if any of y'all had trouble, but we did.
Mine
Is it
went
showing
right
me on as me or is it showing me on still as Jack?
That's Jack.
Jack.
I
Was
don't
that
understand.
Kelsey?
I'm logged in as me. Like whenever I log in, it's my picture and my name and my password, but it's bringing me up as Jack.
Well, when you talk, it's got you on as Jacqueline.
Let me leave and try to come back again.
Okay.
This will make the second time.
Hey, everybody. We're having a little technical difficulty tonight, so just hang in there with us. For some reason, Karma keeps being logged in as Jacqueline, and she's not meaning to. There she is.
Okay. I couldn't use the link to join the call. If I use the link, it automatically signs me in as Jack. So I had to go and enter in the meeting ID number. I don't know why it done that. Anyway.
I don't know, but you're on as you now. You look
Yeah,
like this.
I had to just completely, like I said, I had to use the ID number. It wouldn't let me use the link. I guess maybe it's where the last Monday I logged in under her to do the recording, I guess is why. But it was weird because it shows me and shows my account, but then if I use the link, it logs me in under her. I don't know.
I was just talking about you, Carma.
Oh Lord, I'm scared.
No, don't be scared. I just got to see the picture, the picture.
Mm-hmm.
She sent it to my text message. And I said,
Oh,
oh,
you're
you
talking
are
about Lori's? Are you
yeah,
talking
I
about
said,
Lori's
you are
picture?
so in trouble.
Yeah. She came to pick up her Scentsy and she didn't realize that I had my Ring doorbell on, and there she is picking her panties out of her butt. So it was quite funny. So I definitely took a screenshot of that because her birthday is coming up in August.
Oh my God.
You say yeah.
Well, if you lose the screenshot, I now have one on my phone.
Okay, well, I'm not
There
going to
you
lose it,
go.
but if I do, I'll call you.
Hey, what are you chewing on? Quit. No.
I'm just tagging some people in my group right quick. Reminding them because I have not sent out reminders today. So if you're guilty of that like me.
Well, I've sent them out, but it doesn't, some people listen and some people don't. Someone's not muted.
Yeah, I haven't muted anybody yet. All right. I'm trying to tag all these newbies that just joined because they need to be here for this. I want them to join us and hear this. And honestly, tonight is going to be good for new folks and old folks too.
Yeah, and we're not talking about your age. When she says old folks.
Oh shoot. I can't type now. I'm typing like an old lady with my one finger punching.
That's funny.
All right, let's get these folks submitted. Now feel free to jump on your team page and tag people if you need to. Karma's gonna start us off tonight anyway, so I'm just
I thought you were.
no. You got this, boo.
Okay, Lord have mercy. She's
I'm over
throwing a
here at
curveball on me.
Horse and a carriage.
Stacy,
Can you
mute your thing, babe.
There you go. I can't mute. I can't mute anyone right now because I'm not the. Okay.
JC, we muted you. We could hear some music coming through or something.
I think they were playing some.
My friends in the living room watching music videos.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Do
we'll
I
give
need
it-
to have my camera on?
What?
Do I need to have my camera on?
We would love for you to have your camera on. It's nice to see each other's faces because y'all, when we go to Salt Lake City, you're going to look at somebody's name on the screen and you're going to be like, I don't know that person. But you really do because you see them every week.
All right, let me prop my phone up.
And sometimes, you know, like today was a broad makeup kind of day, but every day ain't. Let me just tell you.
It's been a long day. It's been a
Yeah,
long
you
day.
show up like it is, like you are. It doesn't matter.
Are we
There's
waiting
my,
for a few more?
Now Rita
There's-
says she agrees, but I don't see Rita's face. So Rita, why don't I see your face if you agree?
Yeah, come on,
There
Rita.
is-
Hey, I
Come on.
was saying that I agree with the no bra part most of the time. I
Oh.
wasn't necessarily talking about that.
Come on, we won't see that face.
Okay, I'm outside. It's dark. I don't know how good y'all gonna be able to see me.
It's all
I'll go
right.
inside for y'all, I guess.
Sarah says, hey, on time. What? Way to go. I love it. I used to be that person that was always on time, and it drove me insane when people weren't. And I guess it was because I always had to be, you know, I was a nurse and I had to be on time. And now that I can do what I want to, I just might not be there on time. I try really hard, but it takes like 2 hours.
I remembered having this tonight, and then everything happened today, and I got the notification from Kim, and I'm like, oh wait, I have that live tonight. Let me go to the bedroom and go turn it on real quick.
Yay. I'm glad you did. See, a lot of people wouldn't do that. A lot of people would say, oh, I forgot about it. I'll catch it next week, or I'll watch the recording, and then you don't do it. So I'm proud of you for
Monday
jumping
I
on it.
was crazy busy getting caught up on schoolwork and watching my son, and I'm like, oh, I'll remember next week. And then today's been crazy busy with everything between my boyfriend and my parents and everything, and I'm like, I'm gonna set aside time, and then I'm like, wait, it's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and start watching so that way I can be on time.
Yes. And that's what we got to do. We got to say, I am going to do this.
Yeah.
It's 8:06, so I say we go ahead and get started. Jacqueline is going to be joining us in just a little while. She had some errands that she had to run, so she's going to be jumping on in just a little while. Kelsey is on vacation with her family tonight, so we're missing her tonight. And you got stuck with me and Carma, so get ready. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Okay, you want me to just go ahead and dive in?
Dive in, girl.
Okay. So we wanted to talk to you a little bit about busting excuses and why we make them, I guess, in general. A lot of times we just make excuses because it's easier. You know, you're the only one that's responsible for your business. And if your business isn't going the way you want it to, a lot of times we just make excuses for it. Whenever actually the excuse is we just aren't making time for it. We aren't making it a priority. And we don't know how to make that change. Some people don't know how to make that change. I know one time whenever I started going to a personal trainer, which you can tell, obviously, I don't do that anymore. But when I did, one thing that she told me was to write down everything in my life that I felt that I was failing at because I was using excuses. So I wrote down things like, I wasn't eating correctly. I wasn't working out. I wasn't making time for self-care, blah, blah, blah. And then she had me write down what would look different in that area of my life if I made sure I designated 15 minutes to that particular task that I was failing at. So say it was the clean eating part. I was completely failing at that because I was so busy. I would just grab what I had. I would eat whatever I had, right? What was handy. But whenever I took 15 minutes on Sunday or Monday morning, whenever, most of the time mine was on Sunday, if I would take 15 minutes to kind of meal prep, kind of like snacks, things I could grab for breakfast or grab for lunch, because lunch is my main thing that I completely suck at because I'm so busy that I don't take time. So if I spent that 15 minutes meal prepping, then I had no excuse. I had no excuse for not eating healthy. And the outcome was I was eating healthier. Me not working out was another one of them. And she said, okay, what would happen if you just took 15 minutes a day to work out? How would that help your goal? So I changed that and I carved out at least 15 minutes a day to do whatever type of exercise I could do on my own, whether it was walking, jumping jacks, literally whatever it was to get your blood flowing. What would that outcome be if I'd done that instead of making excuses? Of course, you're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. You're going to start losing weight, so forth and so on. The same thing can be done in your business. You can sit there and look in your business and see what areas you're making excuses for. Whether it is, I suck at follow-up. I suck at booking parties. I suck at recruiting. I suck at sending fun mail to my team. Whatever the area is that you're making excuses for, I want you to write it down. Like right now, I want you to write it down. Write down what you fail at. I'm going to give you just a second because I know that all of y'all are awesome. So there's not too many things that you fail at, right? But whatever you feel that you are failing at, write them down.
And if you get time, stick some of them in the chat. We want to see them.
And you're not alone at this. I made my own list of this earlier today. I have the things that I suck at because it doesn't matter if you're a certified consultant, a lead consultant, a star, a director, superstar director, there's still things that you suck at your business or you feel you suck at. So we aren't superior to you. Just because we might be an SSD doesn't mean that we don't fail in certain areas or make excuses, because we do. Trust me, we make excuses for ourselves.
You know what? I want to jump in right there though and say that the difference, I think, is because I know me particularly, I make excuses. And a lot of times when I make those excuses, I will tell Carma and Kelsey and Jacqueline, what I'm doing and what I'm sucking at and all that kind of stuff. And guess what they do? They tell me to man up and do what I got to do. They tell me, okay, well, do you really not have time? Or, well, we tried to help you with this, like they're going to call me out on my BS, y'all. And if you are not hanging out with the kind of consultants they're going to call you on your BS, guess what? You're not going to be successful. Those are the kind of friends that you need to be hanging out with. Like you need to be hanging out with the people that you straight up don't feel like you are good enough to be hanging out with them. Like when you see their PRV, you're like, how in the heck do they have that kind of PRV? How are they recruiting like that? How are they, whatever? You need to be looking at your friends that you're hanging out with in Scentsy, and you need to be looking at them and going, wow, they're incredible. I want to be more like them. And they need to be the kind of people that are going to call you on your BS and tell you that's an excuse and you know it.
And just so that doesn't look so one-sided, like we look like we're the horrible people, she does the same to us. Actually, I have a text from her that I saved and screenshotted just so whenever I was being like
whining. Where'd you go, Carma? Oh my gosh, it completely threw her out. Okay, so I think what she was going to say is when she's being whiny, because she can be whiny sometimes. And we straight up call her on that. When she is whiny or negative, we'll say, Karma, you are being so negative. We don't want to hear that. Like, if you speak negativity into your business, that's what you're going to get out of it is negativity. You know, nothing positive is going to come out of your business when you wake up and as soon as your feet hit the floor, you're saying to yourself, oh, this is probably going to be a really crappy day. I don't have any of these, whatever, pre-sold. And I know everybody else has got tons of them, but I'm sitting here and I don't have any pre-sales. You know, if you sit there and tell yourself that, then that's what kind of results you're going to have. But instead, when you do like I do, because my biggest thing is procrastination, I didn't post or do anything about the fragrance flowers until this morning. Or maybe I posted late last night. But anyway, I was not prepared, okay? I didn't do what I was supposed to be doing. And so, you know, everybody's telling me, oh, I've got this many pre-orders and how's this going to work and how's that going to work? And I'm like, crap, I didn't even, like, how did I miss the memo on the fragrance flowers, you know? But I did. I straight up missed it and I had not posted it. So instead of saying, well, crap, I'm just not going to do good with this launch, you know, this sale's not going to be beneficial to me and I'm just going to have to go and do my own thing. Instead of doing that, what I did is I got my butt in gear and said, you know what? This is last minute, but that's okay. Because right now I'm excited and I'm determined and I'm going to sell some of these dang fragrance flowers while they're on sale. And I'm going to get that part of my incentive checked off. So I just went for it. And guess what? I sold lots of fragrance flowers today and got them all in. And here we are, you know, no excuses. Don't sit there and say, well, I procrastinated. It's too late. If they're not sold out, it's not too late. Hello, Karma.
Sorry, it froze up and then it kicked me completely out. I was sitting here talking and then nothing was happening. And then all of a sudden I got kicked out. So where did it cut me off at? So I'll know where to go back to.
I think you were saying that I call you out when you're being whiny, that we call you out when you're
She
being
does.
whiny. And
She
that's what
does.
I was telling her.
And I have a screenshot of it where she says, I call bullshit, Karma. And so I saved that. That way, anytime I want to start feeling whiny, I look at that. But anyway, okay. So back to our task. You wrote down the things that you feel that you fail at or stink at in your business. I want you to now take and pick 2 of those. Because I don't want to overwhelm you and tell you to pick all of them because I don't know how many you wrote down, but I want you to pick 2 of those. And I want you to designate at least 10 minutes a day to that activity. And the reason why I say 10 minutes, yes, you might not be able to get a lot done in 10 minutes, but everybody has 10 minutes that they waste. Whether you waste it scrolling through Facebook, you waste it looking at useless TikToks, which I am guilty of because I love sending my directors funny TikToks. That's just how we communicate. I love sending them to Jack and Shonda and Kelsey also, but we all have 10 minutes. So I want you to take 10 minutes a day and designate it to that task that you stink at. If it's Happy Mail for your team, do not overthink that and do not think that you have to do what someone else does for Happy Mail. Okay, you can start out with a postcard that literally takes you a postcard stamp to send it out. It's not even a full stamp. It's a postcard stamp. Do not use a full stamp on it. Go and get you some postcard stamps. But as long as you are sending that out, then you're getting it done. It doesn't matter what it is or how much it costs, but start little. If you suck at follow-up, take 10 minutes a day to follow up with your past customers. If you do not have the Amy app, I highly suggest that. If you have a larger customer base, because it's easy to use and it's a lot quicker than the old style follow-up binders like I used to use. If it is booking parties, then I want you to spend 10 minutes a day building relationships, not necessarily booking parties. And the reason why I say that is because we're in the relationship business. We're not in the booking party business, although we are a party-based plan company. But the reason why I say that is because we are not like other direct sales. We do not want you cold messaging people, asking them to book parties. But if you're building these relationships with people, then booking the parties is going to be easy. And if you are building relationships with these people, not only are booking the parties going to become easier, but so is actually getting recruits and getting PRV, because the more people you talk to, the more PRV you get. The more people you talk to, the more parties you book. The more parties you book, the more recruits you get, so forth and so on. So whenever you pick whatever that is, I want you to dedicate that 10 minutes a day for 30 days straight. 30 days. The reason why I say 30 days is because after 30 days, it becomes a habit. So if you're used to doing that for 10 minutes a day for 30 days in a row, it's going to become a habit. And then eventually you're going to have it down to where it's a system for you. I needed to do this with my Happy Meal. I used to be really good at Happy Meal, and I started just not doing it because I made excuses, because everything in my life is hectic. I run my business. I run my husband's business. I take care of my mother-in-law. I do this, I do that. I had to stop making excuses and buckle down and do it. So I have made up a bunch of Happy Meal in my floor, because literally I have, if you come to my office, like, it's just atrocious. I'll just go ahead and tell you. And it's really bad now because Shonda hasn't been here since September of 19, I think it was. And so it's really bad. And I try to do better, but I have so much stuff that I sat down literally and made like 75 Happy Meals, so that whenever it's time for me to do Happy Meal for my team, I can literally just go and pick a name, get their address, and it's out the door. But whatever it is, if you set the time to it and you do it for 30 days, it's going to be a habit, and then you're going to be able to squash that excuse. And this goes for anything in your life. Like I said, it can go for dieting, clean eating, cleaning the house, whatever. If you just dedicate 10 or 15 minutes a day to that one task for 30 days, you're going to be able to bust that excuse, and then it will no longer be an excuse that's hurting your business or your life. So does anyone want to share some of their things that they are going to work on?
Ryan does.
Ryan, what is it?
I'm just
Oh, I
calling
was
you
gonna
out, brother,
unmute, but
because
now
that's
I'm
what kind of friend I am.
Thanks, Shonda. So mine is Happy Mail and follow-ups. Those are my two that I picked. I say I follow up well, but I really don't, because honestly, follow-ups are like on a daily basis. And as long as I get it every couple of weeks, I'm like, it's fine, but it's really not. So follow-ups and Happy Mail, because my Happy Mail is failing because I'm so cheap. I don't want to pay for the postage. But honestly, if you put it into your business, it's going to come back. So I just have to work on my Happy Mail and my follow-ups. So
Do you
that's
want to know my follow-up trick?
Yes.
Okay, when I get up in the mornings, it is set. I have an alarm on my phone that's for follow-up, and I work on it for 10 minutes. And I normally do it when I'm using the bathroom.
Well, I mean, I'm always, when I'm in the bathroom, I'm on my phone.
Obviously, I mean, we all have to poo. I'm just going to be honest with you. We all do. And if you have your Amy app, it's on your phone. And I can guarantee that every single one of you on here, when you go and poo, you take your phone. Right?
100%.
So, yes. Okay. So just sit there and do your follow-up. And it's out of the way. It's done with. And you got it. And for your Happy Mail with the money, like I said, start with a postcard. That's what I've done for years, because I would always do my top 10 on my team every month, and I would do a postcard. And the postcard stamps are less than regular stamps. I think they're like, I don't even know what they are, like 40 cents maybe. I don't know. I buy them in a roll, because you can get them in a roll just like you do regular stamps. So I just buy a whole roll. But that's easy to do, and then it's not a lot out of your pocket. So anyone else want to share? I'll call Tara. She can share.
Happy Mail was mine too. We already discussed that though today.
Yes, we did. So see, now you can team up with Ryan, and y'all can be accountability partners for squashing your excuses.
We already are, but we will continue.
I know you are, but see, that's just perfect.
Mine is also Happy Mail. I don't have a problem. I mean, I'm good, I think, at telling them and letting them know how proud I am of my team. But it's important to show them as well. And that is something that I have really, really got to work on, is sending them a postcard. Cause I have them. They're in there in my office in a drawer, and they're not worth the crap if they're in there in the drawer. I've got to start writing on them and putting them in the mail. So I'm definitely
Very
going to
true.
focus on that.
Well,
Definitely.
and you're
do
not
make a
alone
good
on that,
point.
Tina. I have postcards and cards like when Shonda, last time Shonda was here in September of, I'm pretty sure it was 19. She went through my office and I had so many postcards and cards that she literally took half of them home with her, because there was so many that I could not use them in my lifetime probably. Like,
Yeah.
It's bad because I have a shopping addiction, and if I see a cute one, I buy it. And so yeah, you're not alone.
Right. But Tina, you made a good point there, though. You do make sure that you're recognizing people and that you let them know you're proud of them. And you know what? Everybody doesn't have to do Happy Mail. You
No.
don't have to send a card in the mail. If your way of recognizing is to shout them out or to send them a text message or send them a voice text even. I know Tina, when she does that, like, she's very personable with her team, the way that she sends things out. And I'm going to
Let's get
say
a
the way she
$500 on
does
this one.
that probably means more to them than if she
The only
were
reason I
to
did this,
actually put them a card in
Denise,
the mail.
can you mute yourself, sweetheart? We can't. I can't mute you, or I would. We can hear the
Jacqueline's
background noise, and I
now,
can't hear
so-
Shonda.
Yeah, Jacqueline got her. But yeah, I mean, if that's something that you say, maybe the mail thing is just not for me because I really struggle with that consistency. If you're okay with saying I just don't do mail and I do something else instead, then just do that. Whatever it is that you're gonna do, just say, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna be consistent with that. I'm not gonna make excuses about it. I'm going to make sure that I do shout outs on my team page every Friday morning or whatever it is that you say you're going to do, and that's what matters, is making it consistent like that.
It's whatever works for you. Just make sure that whatever it is that you decide to do, you don't make excuses about it.
I think the biggest excuse that I hear, and so many other leaders tell me this, the biggest excuse they hear is, I just don't have time. I just don't have time. We're so busy. We've got kids that are playing ball. My husband owns a business, blah, 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 all these excuses. And y'all, or the one that really gets to me is people that say, well, I work 12-hour shifts. Well, that one just gets me really good because I'm like, I used to work 16. Don't tell me you can't do it. Am I right, Ryan? He knows.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation, and for instance, one day he told me, he said, I just don't have time. Like, he is working a legit crazy schedule right now, y'all. It is hard for him to work Scentsy into his life right now, but he's dedicated to do it because he wants to be somewhere that he's not right now. He's got a goal and he's trying to get there. So he's willing to do the hard things and he's not making those excuses anymore. But one day, not long after he told me that, he sent me a TikTok. And I said, I thought you didn't have time to work your business. I don't. I said, you got time to watch TikTok. Do you want to be a director or you want to watch TikToks? And I mean, Ron was like, wow, I mean, that's just rude, but that's what kind of friend I am to him and what kind of leader I am to him, because I know he has the potential and I know he really wants this. But if we don't have somebody to call us on our BS, on those negative excuses, then we're just going to let them live and reside in us. And we can't do that. We've got to have somebody to help us bust those excuses and call us out every single time. It's going to help us.
Yeah, and I've always heard the statement too, that you make time for what's important for you. So
Yep.
no matter how busy you are, if it's something that's important, you will make time for it. You may work 3 jobs, but your kid's baseball game is important to you. And so you're going to make time for it. So if Scentsy is something that you want to make good money with, it has to be something that's important to you. It has to be something that you don't work when you can, or if you can. It's I said that totally wrong. You don't work it if you can, you work it when you can. You make sure you have time allotted for that in your schedule. So you may only have a 30-minute lunch break, but that 30-minute lunch break, you're multitasking and eating and working at the same time. But I think the biggest thing for me too, because when Shonda said the 12-hour shifts of nursing, when I was a nurse for, gosh, I want to say 2 years before I quit and just did Scentsy. You're fine, baby. And I remember those days that I would work 12 hours in ICU, we couldn't have our phones on us. I mean, we were taking care of really sick patients and they wouldn't let us have our phones. But at lunch, I could have my phone. And then my 2 little breaks, I could have my phone. So you want to better believe those, 15-minute breaks, if I even got them, because sometimes as a nurse, you don't pee for 10 hours. But if I had them, I had my phone out and I was responding to team members, posting on my team page, things like that. So you do make time for what's important for you. And Sean and Carma and Kelsey and I were talking the other day. I mean, right now, this season that my family's in, it is go, 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 go. So today I got so much work done because I didn't have anything to do. And then baseball games got canceled this evening and it was joyous, but I took advantage and I've been doing business stuff pretty much all day. Tomorrow we have a crazy day, but I have my schedule of everything that I'm going to get done. This weekend we go to baseball tournaments, 2 separate directions. I'm already thinking samples, recruiting packets. I plan on taking at least 3 recruiting packets with me, and I plan on taking samples with me, and I'm going to hand them out all the way to Shakota, Oklahoma, where Carrie Underwood is from. And I'm going to hand them out all the way back. So just planning ahead, I could easily say I'm busy, busy, busy. I don't have time to work Scentsy, but you better believe I'm working it in the car when I'm not driving, and I'm working it at the games. I'm working it in the evenings. So make time for it.
And sometimes when you're making time for it, you have to make sacrifices in the beginning, but then in the long run, you don't. Like I remember when I first decided I wanted my Scentsy business to grow, I had to sacrifice my weekends at home with my family to do events because that's the direction I chose to grow my business. Yes. And I literally done an event every weekend for a year. Every weekend for a year, unless it was a holiday weekend. And I still done some holidays. And when I say holiday, the only weekends that I didn't do on a holiday was Thanksgiving and Christmas. But I sacrificed in the beginning so I didn't have to later on. Because after that year, I had grew my business enough that my PRV was where I was comfortable with it being and still growing. And I had met enough people that I had recruited along the way that year that I was able to start handing some of them events away to them. But you do have to make sacrifices in the beginning if you want this to work. And that's part of making time.
Carmen, that's a great point. I remember when Shonda, I remember when she reached out, this was earlier on, and she was struggling to hit director numbers. And she reached out and she was like, Dwayne is getting really sick of me doing Scentsy every evening. Like he wants to spend time with me. And, I don't remember why that just popped in my head, but I remember saying, like you got to do the work. Like you're not going to make what you work your first couple of years with Scentsy if you're hustling. You won't make that back yet. But if you put the groundwork in, like Carma said, it's going to pay off tenfold. And now I guarantee you, Shonda gets to work whenever she wants, wherever she wants, for whomever she wants, as far as Scentsy goes. And it's freeing, but it took a lot of days of working when the husband was upset sometimes, and we've all been there. I know Karma's been there. I know Kelsey's been there, where they just need attention from us because the evenings consisted of doing Scentsy, Yeah.
But now he gets to enjoy that too. Now it's not just me that gets to enjoy that. He gets to enjoy the fact that if he's off on Friday or Saturday, I don't have to say, well, I got to go work this 16-hour shift at my nursing job, because I did put those hours in and I did say, you know what, I can't make an excuse. I got to go do this show. And I built my business to the point that now I can say, sure, what time are we going to the lake? Where are we going? What are we doing? Let's go travel. I can do what I want to do now because I put that work in. And I don't ever want y'all to think that when we say something like that we mean work really hard and build your business and then sit back and chill. Yes. If you will notice, none of the 4 of us are sitting back and chilling. We still work and we still work really hard, but now we get to choose when we do it. We we may be on a Zoom call with each other, planning some program for y'all for 2 or 3 hours at a time, you know, when we need to be doing other stuff. But we do it because we know it's going to help y'all to build the kind of business that you want to have too. So
I
Like,
think
no
if
calls
you,
tonight.
what's that?
Tina, you go ahead.
I'm sorry. I
No.
think too, I think if you set goals, it would help you. It will help keep you from making those excuses. My goal, Alan is planning, he's hoping to retire in 5 more years, maybe. And our goal is when he retires, for me to retire with him. So that's my goal. And I think when you have those goals set and you're looking out into your future, then that helps eliminate your excuses because you've got that goal set and you want to reach that goal. Therefore, it's your excuses aren't as, as much, or it helps eliminate the excuses when you have that goal set.
Your future is more tempting than that excuse is. Basically.
Exactly. Yes. Because he is not sitting at home on his butt when I am working, because I'm gonna be there with him.
Exactly. But that's
And
like
then you put his butt to work doing events and stuff like that, won't you?
Hey, I guarantee you he'll do it. He helps me. He is my Scentsy sidekick, that's for sure. So,
and y'all, you know, Tina could have used him for an excuse. For a little while she might have a little bit, but Alan was not on board with Scentsy for a while. Yeah. He was not on board at all. He was one of those that was like, this little candle business kind of thing and all that. But Tina kept working hard and she proved to him that it was beneficial to them. And they've put 2 kids through college. They've earned these trips. She's about to take him on his dream vacation because she earned it through Scentsy.
Yep.
Yeah. No excuses.
No.
Excuses did not earn that cruise, did it, Tina?
no, ma'am, it didn't. It sure didn't.
Another excuse I hear a lot, other than the time, is that they don't have money to work their business.
It's a good one.
That one is one that I always say, well, I don't understand how you expect this business to work for you if you don't work it. If you work it, you would have the money to work your business. And what I mean by that is you can sell Scentsy and not have to spend any money, really. The only thing that I think is crucial is you need to have your website. And the reason why I say that is because we live in a world where people want to shop online. A perfect example of this is I went to bed on March 31st at, I think it was like 1:30 in the morning was the last time that Kimberly messaged me. And I said, I'm about to zonk out, and I fell asleep. I woke up that next morning and had 3 online orders that had already made me active for the month, and they done it while I was asleep. One was at like 4:30 in the morning, one was at like 6, and one was at like 7:30. If I did not have that website, they would not have been able to do that. And 9 times out of 10, they would have probably went to someone else's website, because if you're like me, if you want to order, you want to order right then. I don't want to wait. I'm not going to wait. So if you have that website up, you're making money. So then you would have money to work your business. You don't have to buy all the things. You don't have to even buy testers. Heck, some people just know what the scents they want and they order. Yes, it's good to have them, but you don't have to. You do not have to spend money to make money, other than that $10 a month website in my eyes, because that right there pays for itself.
And look at the flash sales we have. I mean, look how much
Exactly.
PRV we got on flash sales. And that's just give them your website, let them have at it, and it ships directly to them, and you have to do nothing.
Yep. Well, I had a few on my team that told me that they couldn't participate in the flash sale because they just could not afford to have their website. And I will kid you not, one of them that told me that, I didn't even know that she was doing this, but she sent her mom to my website to order. Her mom ordered $150 worth. This girl
that paid
ended
for
up, that would have paid for her website, and it would have kept her from canceling, because she canceled March 31st because she only had 60 PRV. But if she had had her website up, her mom's $150 order would have went on her website and she would have been active and she would not have terminated. And when I tried explaining all of this to her, she got mad at me because she was like, well, I just don't have $10 that you're wanting me to spend. And I'm like, you would have made that back plus some, but I don't know.
Wow.
The point of all of this is we all have excuses. We all have things that come up. Just like tonight, Mindset Monday. Those of you that are here, you know, kudos for being here, because there's a lot of people that made excuses tonight. They just didn't show up. It's just that simple. They just did not show up. They made some excuse in their mind. And yes, there are things that happen that are unavoidable. You know, your kid may be sick and in the floor screaming and nobody's there to watch them, and you can't get on a call when something like that's going on. But if that happens, that's not going to happen every week. You know, those of you that show up every week, we notice that you're showing up every week. And when you're not here, we're like, oh, where is Ryan this week? Like, he's always here and he's not here, you know? So don't let those excuses hold you back from things like that. I honestly did not feel like being here tonight. I worked today, and y'all know I'm not used to working again, and it's been rough for me. So, you know, I got off this afternoon and I came home and I had all kinds of stuff to get ready, and I needed to watch some videos and just kind of get some content in my mind to make sure that, you know, me and Carma had something to offer y'all tonight. And so I really could have just copped out on tonight. I really could have. Of course, Jacqueline and Kelsey would have killed us if we'd done that. But you know, we could have really copped out on that because I was just tired and I just had so much going on and all that. But y'all, we know that by investing that little bit of time into y'all, it's going to help you build your business. And not to be, you know, selfish or anything, but in turn, that's going to build our businesses. And so when you're pouring into your downline and you're spending time working with them or having a one-on-one with them or whatever, you're not just helping them, you're helping yourself too. You're building all of your businesses together. So something I heard today when I was listening to a video, he said, you have to become obsessed with one of two things. Number one, you can become obsessed with your excuses. Or number two, you can become obsessed with winning. And y'all, I mean, it's that simple. You can be obsessed with your excuses, or you can be obsessed with your success or winning or whatever you want to call it. You have a choice between the two. You got to decide which one you want. And it can't be this today and that tomorrow. You've got to wake up in the morning with your mindset that this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to set that goal. Like Tina said, I'm going to set that goal. And every morning when that alarm goes off and you just want to punch that snooze button, because we all want to punch that snooze button, you got to say, heck no, I got to get up. I got to go to work. This is my business. This is my future. This is me not having to do those 12-hour shifts. This is me not having to have that boss that is so mean to me and blesses me out for no reason, or gives that person a promotion over me because and they're not even qualified. You've got to choose that you don't want to live that life forever. And if you choose those excuses, that's what you're picking. You're picking to stay where you are when you choose those excuses. You've got to look forward and choose that future. So, you know, if you choose the winning, then you're choosing to recruit like you've never recruited before. You're choosing to have the PRV that you've never had before. Like, you know, when you look at Carma and you're like, oh my God, look at her PRV. How does she do that? Like, her and Kelsey make me want to do better in my PRV. You're going to do that. When you choose to get up out of that bed and not hit that snooze button, you're going to get more PRV because you're dedicated to your business. You're also going to be the kind of leader that maybe you wished you had. Maybe you don't have a leader that you feel like is helping you and leading you in the right direction. Well, if you don't, be that leader. Choose to be that leader that you always wished you had. Don't make excuses and say, well, I don't know how to lead anybody because I didn't have a leader. That's an excuse. That's not choosing to win. That's not choosing to help somebody else build their future. That's just an excuse. So you got to get rid of those. And this kind of success is not going to happen to those people that are making the excuses. It's just not. It's going to happen to the people that are making a way. And that every day they wake up and they choose to win. Whether that is you deciding, okay, that snooze button, I'm not hitting that snooze button ever again. Do it for 30 days. Like we were saying earlier, for 30 days, say, I'm not hitting the snooze button, not one time. I'm going to get up those 15 minutes earlier and work my business before I go to work. If you want to win, y'all, go win. Just do that. Just don't make excuses. Just go win. That's what you got to do. A little quote that I saw today on Facebook, I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to save this and post it, and I'll post it later. But today's April the 4th. So 6 months from now is October the 4th. So tonight, by the time this call ends, you're going to decide whether you're going to wake up on October the 4th with 6 months of excuses or with 6 months of success. And you just stop and think about that for a minute. 6 months from now, you're going to decide right now whether you're going to wake up 6 months from now with 6 months of success or 6 months of excuses. Which one do you really want? I mean, that's what you got to decide tonight. The choice is yours. So in 6 months from now, you can be a director or a star director or a superstar director or whatever you want to be. But you can't do it if you're counting on those excuses to get you there, because they're not going to get you there.
That leads me to the thing of with the, if you're going to be successful, if you're going to live with your excuses, it's kind of like when people are like, well, it's hard work, but I'm also broke. Being broke is hard and work is hard. So choose your hard. I would rather work hard and no longer be broke than to not work hard and be broke. Like, all of y'all have this amazing tool in front of you, and it's Scentsy. You don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. You live paycheck to paycheck because you choose to live paycheck to paycheck. That's the tough love right there. Like, you choose that. You choose that hard on yourself. Because if you would bust your excuses and work hard, you could live better than you are right now. And you could do that within that 6 months that Shonda's talking about. Yes, it might not be a $30,000 paycheck, but it would be more than you're making now if you bust your excuses for 6 months.
And go out when this call is over, go out and find your Jacqueline and your Carma and your Kelsey and those people that are going to call you on your bullshit. Sorry for the language, but they're going to call you on your bullshit. You need that. You literally need somebody to do that for you, because there's times when you can't do it for yourself. There's times when I can't do it for myself. And I'm over here being negative Nelly and down on myself. And Jacqueline steps in and she says, Shonda, go look at your numbers for March of last year. You've improved. Stop beating yourself up. Sometimes you just got to have that. So go find those people, whoever they are, that you look up to, you fangirl them or whatever it is, and say, I really would like to know, like, how do you do it? Like, Carma, how do you do this kind of PRV? Like, tell me what you do. What is your follow-up system? Are you using Amy? Talk to those people, get to know those people, because when you do that, when you reach out to Carma about her PRV, she may say, oh my gosh, I've always thought that you were just so incredible with recruiting. Can you help me with that? I've been struggling with that. What do you do? Do you send out things in the mail? Like, and then this conversation starts, and the next thing you know, you've got this little Facebook message over here, and you talk to each other all freaking day about everything in the world. And sometimes we get off track, but then we have to veer it back, But we bust those excuses for each other, and we compliment each other and help each other with the things that we do struggle with.
I love it. Bringing the house down tonight, Shonda and Carma. I love that 6 month analogy though. That's true. It's very true. Where will you be at 6 months from now? Will you be the same spot? Will you be better? Will your team grow? Will your numbers grow? It's totally up to you. And like Karma said, I mean, you're the only one that's in control of your destiny. So you can be content and make excuses, or you can be purposeful and change your course. And I know one of the biggest things for me is that when I saw my upline, how much money she could make, I was coasting. I was a hobbyist. And when I realized how much she was making, I was like, oh my gosh, I no longer just want to sell to friends at work. I want to make this a business. And I made a choice that day. And I'm so thankful that I did. And I hope that if you're someone that wants to make this a business, I mean, I talked to anyone that was living about Scentsy. I got no's probably daily, just because I had so much fire, and I was driven to not live paycheck to paycheck. And I was driven to not have a boss and be my own boss. And I was driven to, be a stay-at-home mom when I had kids. And I was driven to not, have to work 12-hour shifts 3 days a week or 4 days a week. And I knew my why. So if you have a strong why, like they said too, you'll do anything. Like Tina said, her husband wants to retire. She knows her why. If you are sitting there and you're just doing this for fun, figure out why you're doing this. Are you doing it for the social hour? Are you doing it for a retirement plan? It's crazy. They did a study I saw on the news a couple weeks ago about how many people don't have any type of retirement plan. They have no 401k. They have no life insurance. They have no stocks, no anything. And it's kind of the norm for these days. And I'm not getting onto you if you don't have any of those things, but if you're someone that you're starting to think in that next chapter, let Scentsy be your retirement plan. Make that your why. Or maybe, when you have grandbabies one day, you want to watch them, make that your why. Or, maybe your job sucks, make that your why. But figure out what it is first, and then no excuse can be bigger than that why.
I think too, right quick, it's how bad you want it. If you want it bad enough, then you're going to set those excuses aside, and you're going to get out there and you're going to go for it. Mm-hmm. And that's the part of being successful in this business, is how bad do you want it? And I want it. I am going to be star director. I am working it. I will be there. That's my next stop. But it's just boils down to how bad do you want it?
Yep. I love it. I'm waiting on Ryan to chime in. I know you want it, Ryan.
I do. I've been slacking lately, but Shonda's been on my tail, which is a good thing because we got to have that accountability. But yeah, I've recruited 4 people the past month, past 30 days, not past month. 2 are doing good, 2 not so much. But Shonda told me focus on recruiting because my PRV is always decent to good, but my team is not wide and deep enough. So that's what we're focused on now. I really want it because I really want to quit my job. I want Scentsy to be my career. Like I'm not just a hobbyist. I want that to be my goal. It is my goal. So yes, I want it, and I'm coming for it, and I'm not stopping.
I love it. How many buddies do you have behind you? Have you ever counted?
I have every Scentsy buddy that has ever, it's licensed. If it's a licensed buddy or warmer, I have it. Every single one. Some are above me, and then some are in the other rooms. But if it's Disney or Marvel, it's Harry Potter, it's in my house. Everyone. I don't know how many though.
You're so awesome, Ryan.
I'm just Disney obsessed. I can't help it.
He took me for my word, and he is recruiting like a boss. I told him, I said, I don't care if you don't barely have your 500 PRV. I don't care. Just recruit. I don't want you to focus on anything else right now, because I know he can get the PRV. So I was like, you're going to give it away. I don't care if you've got 2,000 PRV, you're going to flip parties. You're going to give them to somebody else.
Yep. And I think that's where I changed, because I had a phone call with Shonda, and if I had a party that was $500, $600, $700, I was just like, that's my PRV. And now I'm just like, I don't care about that. Like, you want it, you can have it. I'll flip it to you. And I think that's where my mindset changed, to where I'm looking for the future rather than, oh, I need a paycheck next month. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pushing it for my future success. So when I realized it's not really about you, it's about growing people under you and with you, that's where that's where your success comes from, and eventually the paycheck, of course. But you got to focus on your downline and your team.
Yeah, because you can't get paid at title by just yourself. You have to have your team right there working with you.
Hey, Jacqueline, does that sound familiar with somebody that you talked to about 4 years ago that was
Girl.
just on to their PRV?
Yep. And you know what? That I remember when it clicked for you, and I feel like it's just clicking for Ryan. And I remember when it clicked for me too. Like I was, especially when you are living paycheck to paycheck and, counting those dollars to fill up your tank, it's really hard to let go of a $500 party or $1,000 party. It's really hard because, in the short scheme of things, keeping $1,000 party, I mean, that's $250 in your pocket. And so I remember like, struggling, like, I don't know if they're even going to do anything, right? Do I want to give them the party? To thinking, I don't even care. I'm going to sell my 500 and I'm going to recruit like crazy. I'm going to give up 1,000 here, 1,000 here, however many parties I need to get. And I think once you like it click for Tina and Ryan, I think when that clicks with you, that it's not about the sales, it's truly about building a team. That's where the money is, especially with our compensation plan. When that clicks, magical things happen. I mean, it is crazy. I mean, I really went from like, oh, I've got a great party, I get all the freebies, to who can I find that needs this, right? Or, who needs to join my team, or this host needs to join. I don't want them to give me these orders. These are their friends. I want them to join. And yeah, Tina, that reminds me just of you. It does.
Yep.
I have a perfect example of what Jacqueline's talking about right there. I met a girl, she wanted to do a party, wanted to get a kit, decided she wanted to sign up. Y'all, I met this girl at a Subway and we sat down and talked. It was a planned meeting. We sat down and talked, and she's like, yeah, I've been thinking about joining. I mean, the guy on what is that, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the teacher on Ferris Bueller's Day Off, like he got more excited when he talked than she did. And I was like, oh, this is going to be the most horrible recruit I've ever had. Like I didn't even want her to join, y'all. I really didn't. And she ended up joining. We had our launch party. She did great. It was wonderful. This girl sold for me for probably 4 years and was awesome. She's no longer with me anymore. But guess what? One of the people that she recruited is now one of my directors. So, even if somebody doesn't just come in and they're just awesome and they're blowing and going, don't ever second guess yourself about giving more than you take and giving somebody their party. Because especially when it is their party, y'all, that's their people. That's the people that they're going to build their business with. If you take that and make them start over and have another party, then they feel like they're scraping to get the PRV they need to even earn their shooting star. Give more than you take, and I promise you it's going to come back to you. And, it is sad that she's not with me anymore, but look what all she gave me. And this whole leg in my downline that I have because of her, So always give more than you take.
And I want to throw in there also, like, sometimes I get really frustrated. I'm sure everybody here does with your downline when they don't want to do anything. It's like they're not selling, they're not recruiting. You're just like, what are they here for? Like, new blood is key, yes. But Shonda told me one day, when I told her, I'm frustrated. I'm done. Nobody is doing anything in my downline. And she was like, do you remember that year you didn't do anything? And I joined, and when I joined, I was on fire, y'all. Like, not recruiting, just PRV. I went for a little over a year before I had my first recruit. And Shonda was like, you were there, you did 3 or 4 months of like great PRV, and then I died off. And she called me. I was about to, this is before they changed to 12 months. It was like 3 months, and they deactivated you. And she's like, so you're just going to go inactive. You're just going to be canceled, and you're not going on the Disney trip and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I can't go on the Disney trip. That's for people that are like way up there, that people that have downline, because you can't earn incentives without a team. And she was like, well, then get downline. I'm like, I'm trying. She's like, but are you though? And that's when I started recruiting. And I'm just saying that I was one of those people that was about to deactivate, and I'm just an SSC now. I'm not even a director yet. I'm coming for it. But my team, I have roughly 30 people underneath me. And my PRV is pretty good. But it's just, if my upline, which my direct sponsor is pretty much non-existent. So I look at Shonda as my sponsor just because that's who I go to as my upline, because she's my next up and my sponsor is not really there. So if my upline had given up on me, I wouldn't be sitting here now, and I wouldn't be on these trips, and I wouldn't be, making these paychecks and growing these teams. I was one of those people that I wanted to give up on. So just remember, with your downline, you always want new people, of course, but remember, on your downline, something may click, like an aha moment, and they're like, okay, this is what I want to do. So I just want to throw that out there, because I have been that person that I wanted to be like, that I'm done with them, so just don't waste your time on your downline, but always be available to them, and just don't count them out. You know what I'm saying? Just have hopes for them. Again, don't waste your time. Just, am I making sense what I'm saying?
You're making perfect sense. Focus on those who want it, put time into those
Yes.
who want it. Don't
Yes.
ignore the others, but don't waste time unless they show that they want it, like you started to do, Perfect sense.
I'm just such a proud Scentsy mama right now.
It's all that butt kicking you've been doing on him that,
Yes. Self-love. She's good at it.
Mhm.
You have to give tough love sometimes.
Yeah, you do. And I, somebody was talking, I think it was Ryan was talking about inviting his new recruit. And I was like, oh, I don't know if tonight's the time, because, we knew this would kind of be a tough love conversation, because busting excuses is, and sometimes we just need to hear that, but it can be like, for a new person that comes in, and the first thing they hear on Mindset Monday is, you got to quit making excuses, you loser, get to work. You don't want people to feel like, whoa, boy, she's something else. I don't want to work for her, which nobody works for me, but you know what I'm saying? That's how people might feel. But, you can't be warm and fuzzy and cozy all the time. Sometimes you just got to tell people the straight up truth. I see potential in you. Don't freaking waste it. Get to work. Like, do something with yourself. You are fabulous. And this is something that you can always do with your downline, is find something they're good at and point that out to them and say, well, I know your PRV is crap and you're not getting paid on your downline because you can't seem to get 500 right now, but look how many downline you've recruited this year. So that's your strong point. We know that's your strong point. You can teach that to other people, and guess what? We'll help you with your PRV. But find those things, pull those things out of them that they're good at, and make sure that they know they're good at it, because sometimes they don't. Sometimes you as a leader are the only encourager they have. And so if they're sitting there telling themselves, I'm not good at this and I'm not good at that and I suck and my business is never going to grow, maybe they don't have anybody in their corner. Maybe their spouse is not supportive. Maybe their entire family thinks Scentsy's a joke and it's a pyramid scheme. Oh my God, but maybe that's the problem. You may be the only person they have in their corner. So make sure you are in their corner. And if they need somebody to say, look, you're being negative, let's flip the script and try to change this for you. Be that person for them. This is like, we've totally gone all off the excuses, but you know what? That it is what it is. Maybe this is what everybody needs to hear tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
Need all the tough love. All right. Anybody have anything else or have any questions? Good Lord, we went an hour. I'm sorry.
We did, but you know what? You guys hung tight on here too. I'm pretty impressed.
All right. Well,
It was a good hour though. We learned a lot.
Well, my team is used to it. They know that I never stick to 30 minutes. Like, they're used to it, unfortunately. They know.
Well, I'm going to upload this and I'll send it to Carma and Shonda, and we'll put it on Kelsey's page because she's on spring break with her kiddos. So tag anyone in your group that you might think needs to hear this, or send it to them. Be that tough love they need and say, I think you need to listen to this. But we're really glad that you guys got on tonight. Carma and Shonda, you guys did awesome. I know I missed the first 10 minutes driving home, but you guys are awesome. So
love you, boo.
we got each other's backs when we can't get on.
Yes.
That's right.
All right. Well,
you can friends like that.
Yes, girl. Well, you guys have a good night, and we will all see you later. Thanks for joining us for Mindset Monday.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.